I actually was not that good at football when I first started. I think it took about 2-3 years for me to actually learn what I was doing out there, and I didn't run my first touchdown until I was maybe 12. I kind of took wind of it, and then it just capitalized on itself in middle school and high school. I was MVP junior, senior year, offensive player of the year, junior, senior year, all conference running back. My coach told me if you work hard enough, you can go play somewhere. And the first school who reached out was Mount Union, the best Division III program at the time. Coming into the season, when they put the depth chart out, I was first name. I was having a great season, catching passes, scoring touchdowns. It was the first playoff game. Got my guy, juked past him, caught a touchdown, but as I'm handing the ball to the ref, I get this sharp pain in my chest. Didn't think much of it, we're in the middle of a game, but as the weeks went on, the chest pain started to happen more frequently. I was losing weight, I had a viral infection. I wasn't the same, and there was a trainer I was really close with. He came over to me and said, "You look awful. I think you should go see a doctor." So I go into the wellness center. They hook up all these wires to me. I'm like, I'm not gonna find nothing. The lady walks in, she knew who I was, and she kind of had this sad look on her face. And she says, "We gotta rush you to the emergency room. There's something wrong with the left side of your heart." I was born in Lewis, Delaware. It's down by the beach, Eastern Shore. I had a different type of childhood. I feel like I grew up really quick. And I realized I wasn't like other families that had two parents. As a kid, I noticed my mom struggling. She would be depressed more than happy. So I think my childhood wasn't ruined, but I think I turned into a man well before my peers. I started playing school football in 8th grade. I had never really touched the football. I scored like 8 touchdowns that year, and as the years went up, the more role I got. In junior and senior year, I was a starting feature back on the team, and nobody had been to college in my family. So even aside from football, I knew I was going to be a first-generation college student, but playing it, I knew for sure at the beginning of my senior year I was going. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard at first. I didn't see any time my freshman year, and it really hit me hard because I was always a starter. And I stayed that whole summer through with the first team quarterback, and while people were home partying over the summer, I was out in that 90-degree weather catching the ball every single day. When I went back, I was a preseason starter. My first game, I played good, I caught a couple passes, but catching touchdowns didn't happen until like the 5th week. But even when I was scoring touchdowns, I was unknowingly playing with pericarditis, which is the inflammation lining around your heart. I had actually lost my spot because I was having chest pains, and they put me on the right medication. It didn't go away fast. I still had to deal with some pains, but thank God I went back to the Cleveland Clinic before I went home for the summer. They said all the fluid's gone around your heart, you're cleared to play football again. And then I get a call from one of my friends back home. Two of my best friends had gotten into a car accident, and we couldn't even recognize them at the funeral. I mean, these were guys that, since elementary school, we grew up, we graduated together, played football together. Seeing him like that, seeing his mother like that, going to the funerals, it really took a toll on me. So I ended up getting sick again, and not really knowing why, and the chest pains came back harder. But I was having these pains in my hands and feet now. But I was so worried about, doing this for my friend who had, passed away, I wasn't gonna let anything stop me. I had played 7 weeks that season. They put me on like kickoff just because they felt like I needed to be on the field. I wasn't the same. That's when I went to the Cleveland Clinic, referred me to a pain management, and that's when I got the diagnosis. Peripheral neuropathy. He said basically, when you had that heart condition, it went away, but your body still thought you had it. So then it turned into an autoimmune disease, so my body was fighting something that wasn't there, and it was destroying my nervous system unknowingly. So from 2016 training camp to 7 weeks into the season, I was running around trying to jump and play football with peripheral neuropathy. And I was so angry because I had already beat something and then something else came. It was hard to get up to go to class, the sharp pains, the tingling. It was getting to the point where I'd have to wake up and wait for my legs to cooperate. So I ended up having to drop all those classes that semester. And I told my mom, I think it's just time for me to come home. But January 2018, I woke up and the only thing I could feel was about my face. And the only movement I could really do was, lift my head up. It was hard to live at that moment. I would get up some days and just be mad at God because he didn't take me in my sleep. But I said, God, please help me. And he showed me the 5 people that had been there in my entire life. It was Jesus Christ. It was my mom, my mentor, who's kind of like my dad, his wife, who's kind of like my second mom, and my little man, who actually got me to go to the hospital when I had a neuropathy. I looked at my right arm, which wasn't moving at the time, and I said, God, I know this right arm belongs to you, but there's a special woman in my life. She's like my second mom. I would love to give this arm to her. I looked at my left arm and her husband, who's like my mentor, and I said, God, I know this arm belongs to you, but I would love to give it to him. Looked at my legs, which weren't moving, which was the worst part of my body. And I remember this little 7-year-old kid looking me dead in the eyes, knowing something was wrong. I said, God, I know my legs belong to you, but I love to give them to him. I laid my head back down, and the last thing I had to do was I gave my mind to my mom. I can't explain how long I was asleep, but all I know is when I woke up, got up out of that bed, and I haven't felt the pain in 2 years. And it may sound weird, but when I look out my eyes now, I look out of them with a purpose. I don't see the world the same. Pretty much just started living life again. I felt different. There was like a glow about me. That's what everybody kept saying. And then I'm like, man, football season's coming up pretty soon. It's time to have a comeback season. I worked hard every single day to get in shape. My body transformed. I got my strength back. I was around 230 pounds. And by the beginning of the season, I was a lean 211, 213, and I was ready to play. I told my mom, I'm going back and I'm playing football. I just need to figure out where I'm going, but I'm not going back to Mount Union. I want to stay close to home, and I want you to be at every game. And I want you to see what I'm about to do. I emailed every college around the D1, D2, D3, it didn't matter. I just sent out a message. And Salisbury seemed the most interested in me. When I ran out on that field, it felt amazing. Catching the football again efficiently, knowing I was starting, knowing they were going to throw me the ball, knowing I was on a good team, looking to make a run this year. It was exciting. The season went great. I broke the single game receiving record. The team went to the Elite 8. We won a conference championship. I was living a dream all over again. I remember I was looking at different things online and this article appears and it said Mayo Clinic Comeback Player of the Year. My name was on that website. My face was on there. I was speechless. We got to go to Fiesta Bowl, see the Ohio State-Clemson game, and it was 80,000 people. We had our own booth. They gave me a football with my name on it. Everything was paid for. You couldn't have told me when I was 7 years old when I started playing football that it would get to this. So it was a dream come true. When I think about everything I've been through the last couple of years, it really made me realize how strong I actually am. If the struggle never came to me, I would have never known the ambition that I had, the drive that I had, and the sheer will that I had to overcome every obstacle in my life. I'm actually glad I got sick. I've gone through things that can help people. So I think telling my story will let people know that no matter what comes your way, that you can get over it if you just have the sheer will to get through it. These last couple of years have been good, bad, rough, ugly, but through it all, I've become a much better man that's gonna mean something to this world one day. My name's Octavion Wilson, and I'm a warrior.